What do you do if you're in a financial hole? Some of you are struggling financially right now. Some of you have been struggling for a long time. You're asking yourself, is it even possible to turn around my money problems? I'm Garen, and I want to talk to you about financial turnaround. Yes, it is for you, and yes, it is possible. God's word is sure. He does delight in the prosperity of his servant. He has given us his money laws to show us the way to walk in financial blessing. Now, some people struggle with that. They say God is only concerned about spiritual things, not the physical. Well, if you take any time to read the Bible at all, you'll see that's not true. God is concerned about the present well-being of his children and also about their eternal well-being. So many of his promises throughout the Bible are for financial prosperity. It's up to us whether we are going to believe them or not. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll see I've spent plenty of time talking about God's promises and his money laws. But sometimes it's helpful to see real-life financial turnarounds. So I'm going to start sharing real-world examples. Some of these are from the Bible, and some of these are present-day people that you'll know. This is to give you hope. Hope is one of the greatest gifts and weapons that God has given us. If we can believe his promises and his goodwill toward us, then we can walk in the fullness of it. So what does financial turnaround actually look like? It looks like one young man who lost everything. He worked his way out from a slave to one of the wealthiest men in the world. Another young man left everything behind to follow a word from God. He had a little, but as he continued to trust God and walk with him, the Lord continued to add more and more to him. He eventually became wealthier himself than even other nations. And you probably have some ideas who I'm referring to. But what about the modern day examples I was alluding to? Well, one woman was born into extreme poverty in the southern part of the U.S. She endured abuse and wore potato sack dresses as a child because her family couldn't afford better. By age 32, she broke onto the scene as an American celebrity. At that time, she became a millionaire. At 41, her net worth reached $340 million. Today, her net worth exceeds $3 billion. Now, that's a far cry from potato sack dresses. She continues to give back to those who were in the situation that she grew up in. One famous man faced family financial collapse as a teen. His father lost his job and the family lived out of a van. This young man dropped out of school at 15 or 16 and worked as a janitor, including night shifts at a tire factory to help support his family. Despite this, he pursued comedy. He started in the movie business, eventually making up to $20 million per film in his prime. His current net worth is approximately $180 million. We'll just say that he's not living in a van anymore. Another woman was born to formerly enslaved parents and washed clothes for other people. One day she noticed she was struggling with hair loss. With limited opportunities to receive treatment, she developed and sold her own hair care products door to door. Not only did this help her own hair, it greatly helped others as well. She built a national network of sales agents for her products, opened a factory, and by the 1910s had become America's first self-made female millionaire. Her estate was worth the equivalent of over $30 million in today's dollars. She's a testimony to how solving one problem can completely transform your life and the life of many others. Now, some people don't grow up in lack. They even experience mild success before losing it all. Another man's first business went bankrupt in the early 1920s. He persisted, co-founding a new company, which grew into a multi-billion-dollar entertainment empire. This man went from bankruptcy to a billionaire. Now, how many of you feel like you have nothing? Well, can you believe to become a billionaire? I know you're probably wanting to know the names of the people in these stories that I just shared. Well, stick with me. I'm going to share each of their stories in greater detail so that you will see how many of them were in circumstances just like your own and how radical their turnarounds were. That way you understand you can experience the exact same radical turnaround each of them did. God has great plans for you. You just have to believe it before you see it. If you don't want to miss any of these stories, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, I'm Kyle, and I'm believing with you for your biblical prosperity.